guys, welcome to another episode of Steph's Plant Life. Today we're headed to the dollar store to see what they have for us crazy plant people and gardening enthusiasts. First off the bat, there are lots of pots. I generally don't buy pots from dollar store except for the 6-inch pots. I find them to be a little bit more sturdy, but definitely, take a look, and also it depends on your budget. This pot was interesting to me because it is almost identical to flower pots that I purchased from the big box stores that already have the flowers in them. This pot is interesting. It's a smaller pot. The texture is really cool. So if the color's not right, spray painting always does the trick. But this pot actually, I really like this pot. Very simple, and it's something that could easily be spray painted. They also have hanging baskets. Those are kind of nice, but the thing is that I find them to be a little thin. Again, if you're on a budget and this is your first time, check it out, see if you can use them. These are a little okay. I think I would use those, but I know that if you put them outside, they do kind of break in the sun. The sun actually has an impact on them. These are awesome knee pads. I have a pair of these. When you're in the garden on your knees, these things are awesome. This is a cool, funky little watering can. You can't beat a $1 watering can. I really like them. I actually like the colors a lot too. Now, this is a great find. These are little seed starting pots. There's about 12 in there, I think. I couldn't open it up and I didn't really need them, so I didn't purchase. But I do believe that there are 12 in the smaller size. And then this larger size here has about 6. Again, because I didn't open it up, I'm not sure, but I think it's either 6 or 8. Wasn't able to be precise. These metal hanging racks are awesome, and they come with the nail. Pretty neat. This is a great buy. Flag poles. Metal flag poles. And these are plant hangers. I've never used these. They have them in black. It's pretty awesome. Green, like a mustard, and black. Metal garden hooks. Plant support. I purchased these. I haven't used them yet. Some sort of deck. Oh, this is so nice. A plant hook with butterflies. God, I love butterflies. That's super cool. This is some twist ties, a thermometer, more small planters. Garden stakes. Some really cool welcome signs. Wind chimes. Here's some garden shovels and hand rakes or cultivators. Shears, invaluable. The little scissors are awesome. A whole wall of flowers in boxes. I've never used those. I generally use the one in the seed packets. And in this store, I found the little greenhouses. Those are interesting, again, for seed starting. And you can see the pots in the back. It's a different store, so you're kind of seeing some of the things over again. But I wanted to make sure that you saw these gloves. These gloves are awesome. They're very similar to the gloves that I purchased recently at Costco in a pack. Normally, I just buy them from the dollar store. Last year, everything ran out. Again, knee pads. Some of this is obviously redundant since I said I had been to a couple stores. And you notice in this store, very quickly, they don't have the black one. So every store seems to be getting their different things, or maybe they're running out quickly. But definitely get to your dollar store to see what they have. This is kind of a look at this particular store. I found this interesting. These are sprinklers, kind of cute for kids. This is awesome. They have these saucers. There's just one here. The one next to it I use also as a water saucer, and it can also be used for like rock gardens and other interesting things. This is really cute. You could do a rock garden or do like a nice little arrangement. Just wanted to point out this pot. It's a 6-inch pot. It wasn't at the other store. I love these. I've bought these before. They're self-watering and they're pretty sturdy. Worth a look. Check out some neat glassware. You can use vases, or you can even use some of these for propagation. At another store, they had soil, 8-pound bags of soil. I've never used them. And at a different store, the same store, they had seeds. So I had to go to 3 different stores to get the things that I wanted. Only one of the stores that I went to had seeds as of yet. And I've been calling around, and so far, just one store has seeds. Hey guys, how are you? I'm back from my trip at the dollar store, and I wanted to share with you some of the things that I walked away with. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this video is because oftentimes as plant lovers, we spend tons of money on plant related items and tools and everything else. So I was wondering, what we could get from the dollar store that are just $1 to kind of reduce our spending on plants. Highly unlikely probably because, it's an addiction. But so without going any much longer, I'm going to show you some of the things that I purchased. A couple of things that I think could be used for both indoor and outdoor plants are pruning shears. I've had these shears for years, and the reason why I repurchase often is because I'm one of these people that when I'm in the garden, I will just drop a shear somewhere and get distracted with something else and then can't remember where I have it, and usually I'll find it under a tomato tree or something. So that's why I purchased, but I've purchased really expensive shears before, and they're not half as good as these. These last for a long time. They're great for cutting. It says it's great for cutting and snipping flowers, small plants, and shrubs. Between me and you, I've cut tomatoes, eggplant. I've cut pepper plants. I've harvested with this. I've pruned with this. These are awesome. So these shears are awesome. Also for indoor plants, if you're cutting down branches or cleaning your plant, you can certainly use these. They have other sizes as well. These are serrated shears. I have these. I use them whenever. So scissors. Something that goes along with the scissors is alcohol. You're going to find that also at the dollar store. Usually when I'm inside, not so much when I'm outside, but when I'm inside and I'm clipping plants, I will clean the blade with the alcohol. So alcohol. You can use it for many things, and definitely use it to clean your tools. Another thing that we can use for both indoor and outdoor plants are shovels. These are really great. I've purchased these, again, just like these, just like the shears. I have multiples of them. These are like some great this is a nice little transplanter. If you're transplanting your indoor pots or your outdoor pots, you can definitely use these. I've used this actually in the ground outside. As long as the soil isn't ridiculously compacted, this is awesome. They work. These are not the sturdiest of shovels, but they get the job done. And if somebody's just beginning, especially if you're just beginning to have an outdoor garden, there's no reason for you to be spending tons of money. These work just fine. So shovels, indoor plants, you can scoop up the dirt and do whatever it is that you need to do with these as well. I love these. Let me turn to here. You know what? Something that I want to talk about for indoor plants before I start going on my outdoor plants is that the dollar store also has rocks and sand, right? Rocks. Well, these are these little pebbles, and sometimes you get these little bags full of rocks. And what I do with these is, when I was fighting my fight with fungus gnats, I would use the sand to cover a layer of the soil in the pot. So this is great, and it's also kind of decorative. These are some small little pebbles, same thing. Sometimes they're cute and they're decorative. I don't have a pot that I brought out here that I've put these little pebbles on. And then there's these bags. You'll find bags of stones. I'll show you what I do with the bags of stones. If I have a pot and my plant is too small, what I normally do is I'll use these stones. I'll use these stones and kind of put them in. So you see I've got a layer of stones on the bottom, and then I plop the plant in. Sometimes depending on how big it is, I'll just leave it in the bag and just put it in and put the plant right on top of it. But it's a great little tool. So stones, sand, decorative pebbles, these are some great items that you find at the dollar store. It's really a great find. Another item that I find at the dollar store that I find very useful are these plant saucers. This size is an 8-inch, and the dollar stores that I went to, I think this is the only size that I found. But since they're still getting things in, you're probably gonna find some more. But what I normally do with these saucers is when I get a rescue plant, I'll just kind of put them in a saucer, because I generally don't repot my rescue plants right away. I kind of let them get acclimated to my home, unless they're like drowning in water, and even then I'll just leave them in there and let them dry out and put them closer to the sun and let them dry out. But this is, you know, a great little saucer that I just put there. Sometimes what I'll even do is put some water in the saucer to use as humidity for my plants. Like I'll put a plant in there and use as humidity for my plants. I don't have a humidifier, and I don't want all that humidity in my space. So these are great little trays that I use as a humidifier. They do come in different sizes. For instance, this is a plant that's normally on the outside, and I didn't want to put it in a pot. It doesn't have a pot. So I had this. This saucer is a 10-inch saucer, also from the dollar store, that I got last year. So they come in different sizes is my point. Also, along the lines of plant pots, this is a plant pot that I found at dollar store. I like it. It's pretty sturdy. What I would do, since all of my pots are white, I will probably spray paint it. I like the detail on the side, and I think once it's spray painted, it's gonna look really awesome. And if you notice, it fits this plant. So this plant might be going in there if and when I decide what I'm gonna do with it. But again, this is a great little thing. They have a variety of pots, as you saw in the video. More things that I found at the dollar store for propagation. Okay, so this is again another plant that I got for $1. That was one of the rescue plants, and I ripped the plant apart, and I wanted to propagate. These are pothos. I don't remember if they're golden pothos. I don't remember which pothos these are, but this is a glass that I found at the dollar store, and I use it as part of my propagation station. As you can see, I'm really happy. This thing is making some leaves, and they've kind of been hanging out in the water. This is another container that I got from the dollar store that I've been putting in here to propagate some of these plants. So the dollar store offers you a lot of different things that you can use as a plant lover. Now, getting into the people who are doing outdoor planting, is that all for my indoor planter that can go both ways? So for the people who are doing outdoor planting, I found these seed greenhouses. I was really excited about it when I first got them, until I opened them up and realized that inside it didn't have cells. The last year they had these greenhouses, but they actually had the cells where you can put in the dirt and whatever else, but this time they don't. I bought them anyway, only because I have some cells that are individual that I can put them in here. And also another thing that you can put in here, they have these expandable cells that they sell that I've seen. So I potentially just put a couple of those expandable cells in one of these little seed starting greenhouses, and start your seeds indoors that way. One other thing that I wanted to show you is that I got this tray from the dollar store, and what I noticed is that I can actually put 4 of these seed starting greenhouses in here, and then put it on the shelf while I start my seeds indoors. A great little tool for indoor seed gardening. So I've got my little greenhouse here, and then I can put 4 of these in the basket. So the basket is also an item that I purchased at the dollar store that I could use. Now, along the lines of seed starting, check this out. I found some seed starting potting mix. I generally do everything organic, so this is not an organic seed starting mix, but there are flowers that I want to start indoors, and so I will definitely be using that to start my flowers. So I think this is the first time that I've ever used this, so I'll let you guys know how this works out. But they have seed starting mix and they'll be great. And so people who are not into this whole organic thing, you can certainly use this to start your vegetables and everything else. Now, excitement. This is super exciting. Seed starting mix. In order to have seed starting mix, you've got to have seeds. And the dollar store, what's great about the dollar store is that the seeds are for $4, and you can get a variety of seeds. This year I went a little nuts and I bought everything from flowers to vegetables. I normally only just buy flowers at the dollar store. Last year I grew these marigolds and they were pretty large. They were about 4 feet, 3 feet. This thing says that they grow up to 2 to 3 feet. I could have sworn mine were taller, but they were very, very tall. I love these and I can't wait to use them again. So seeds, I have tons of seeds for $4. If you're just starting a garden, hey, why not use a dollar store seeds? Look at these peas, right? For $4. You've got plenty of seeds. What else? Oh, another thing that I wanted to say is that these seeds, there are heirloom varieties here. I'm not a seed expert, so take that for what it's worth. And seeds for $4 at the dollar store. Next thing, very, very important for that's still along with this theme, and these are plant labels. When you are, planting, especially for putting plants outdoors, and you want to remember what they are, because I certainly forget all the time, these plant labels are awesome. Just use a permanent marker, write what you've got, and you're good to go. So another thing that gardeners need are these flexible ties. So if you're putting together any tomato or tomatoes, eggplant, peppers, and you're securing them to a stake or they're falling, these are awesome. This is the first time I'm buying this variety. This has got like this kind of rubbery thing on the outside, and then you just, the same way, you just tie it, and pretty soon whatever it is that you're trying to adhere to the post is going to adhere. Normally I buy this type, a lot skinnier. You can see that's the way it ties, and you get 2 rolls. And it also comes like with a little cutter, so while you're outside you pull, you cut, and you're good to go. This is what I've always used. I really like these for $1. Last year when everybody was going crazy over plants, I couldn't find them, but thankfully I had an extra pack in my garden bag, and it I got through it. I got through the season because of these. Finally, one of my favorite things are garden stakes. Are these little garden stakes. I love these things. Every year I buy a couple and I put them in the garden. It's just, really cute. So that's pretty much it. I think this is it for me in terms of the things that I've purchased from the dollar store. Oh, right for me. Potting soil. I gotta tell you, I don't recommend this potting soil unless you're going to use it outside for outside plants. When I opened this thing, I noticed that there was some fungus gnats in it, so I will not be using it indoors. I thought when I purchased this that it was like the most amazing buy, and that I would use it for potting plants indoors, but that's not the case. The bag that I opened was kind of wet inside to a certain extent, and then I noticed some fungus gnats flying around. So if you choose to use this potting soil, 8 pounds of potting soil for $1, you can't beat that. You can add things to it, but I would use this outside where I didn't really care about fungus gnats, and I don't know if they even live a lot outside. I usually don't see them in the garden, but definitely I would use this outside, do my soil amendments. The soil is not like the best, but you can certainly add it to other things. Do some additives and put some good food in it, and you can use it. Dirt is dirt, right? So pretty much that's it. Those are the things that I have found at the dollar store, and I hope that on your next run to the dollar store, you get some awesome things, and maybe you will share what you've gotten, and maybe there are some additional things that you get at the dollar store that I didn't mention in this video. So if you like this video, please, please, please press the subscribe button, press the like button, and let me know about what you're doing with your garden and your indoor plants in terms of saving money and using the dollar store as a vehicle to do so. So hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye.